during F-Zero GX. And with that, let's kick it over to Valyssa. Awesome.
Alright, hello everybody, this is F-Zero GX. I'm going to be playing through all of the story mode on normal difficulty. So I guess we'll just get right into it. So, can you give me a countdown?
3, 2, 1, go!
So story mode is pretty unique from every other mode in the game, is that it has its own unique tracks, and they all have their own gimmick. So the gimmick of this track is that you have to collect a bunch of capsules. On normal difficulty you collect 25, on hard you collect 30, and on very hard you collect 35. So let's just explain the basics of the game. You have your normal racing style gameplay, you have your accelerator, brake, which you're not going to use. There's also the energy bar in the top right. That is also your health, as well as your boost meter. So on the first lap you can't boost, but on boost laps it's going to be a bit of a management game of making sure you have enough health so if you crash into a wall you don't instantly die versus going fast. I'm going to be collecting as many capsules as I can on the first lap, so now I can just keep on boosting. So there's also these boost blades. They can stack with your normal boost. They actually work a bit differently from your normal boosts. But yeah, you can stack them, and I want to hit them as much as possible. Now, being normal difficulty, this mission is like really easy. Very hard variants is pretty challenging. Like if you don't have a good route for when you want to collect each capsule, then you're gonna have some issues. On normal difficulty, you have enough of a leeway that even if you miss a capsule, you can turn around, go back for it, and you'll still be fine. So we're going to go into the hardest chapter, in my opinion. Actually, I guess Chapter 9 could be arguably more difficult. We're going to be doing a trick called shift boosting here. And what that entails is going off the side of the track and going back on it, getting a big speed boost, doing that about 100 times. So there's a big chance that I'm gonna die here. Hopefully I will at least get to show off what it's meant to look like. Because when it's done well, it is so impressive. So this track is pretty nice in that it has some leeway. It has the... that was a double shift boost. It has the wall, which can kind of push you back on the track to make sure even if you mess up the shift boost, you don't instantly die like that. So I'm going to be giving this a few tries. If I take too long, I'm going to be doing this the normal way. And you can go ahead with a short donation while I try to focus on finishing this track.
Alright, we have 10 euros from Stellar saying, "Good morning from Canada. Sad I missed SA2, but I'm happy I'm here for this run. These 10 euros go to making Link's tunic blue. Good luck on the run, Valyssa."
Thank you. So one thing you'll notice that sometimes I wobble when I get back onto the track. That is just something with the collision. I want to stabilize before going for another shift boost, otherwise it just makes me wobble even more and it can cause me to just wobble off the edge. I'm playing this extremely safe right now. Normally I would be spamming shift boost here, but that'll be enough for now. I don't want to die like right at the end. So 47 seconds is not great, but for a marathon I'll happily take it, having died only once. My personal best is 32 seconds, and world record is like sub 30. It's actually insane. So the next chapter, it doesn't have much of a gimmick. It's a normal race, except Captain Falcon is wearing a mask. He is in disguise. Nobody would ever recognize that it is indeed him driving the Blue Falcon. So this track has a neat little shortcut that hopefully I'll get to show off at least once, but it's pretty difficult. You have to manage your boost just right to be going fast enough, and if at all possible, you want to be in a boosting state when you take the shortcut. And right at the start here, we can get a little bump from the CPU. They always line up just right. They have much greater acceleration than you do, and it just works out pretty well. So here we can do another little shift boost just by driving over a little corner, which causes you to be in the air for a short moment of time and then drop back onto the track. So here's jump blades. I guess that's the main gimmick of this track. There's a few jump blades. what you'll see me do is spam the side attack button, which causes me to gain a lot of speed in the air. It's not much of a thing in story mode, but in some tracks in time attack mode, it's extremely powerful. Okay, so I might be going too slow to make the skip, yeah. So that skip doesn't just involve going to the other side, you have to hit invisible checkpoints in the air to make sure you don't explode upon hitting the track, because the game thinks you're cheating. So hopefully I'll get to show it off on the final lap. If not, then that's whatever. It doesn't save a huge amount of time, but it just looks really nice. I think my boost should line up just right. Nope, I didn't do it. Okay, that's a shame. I was hoping to get another boost in before going into the air, but I didn't. And you can go for a quick donation in between chapters.
Alright, we have €2 from Elise saying, "Go Valyssa," donation for Runner's Choice.
Thank you, Elise. I'll have to have a look at the donation centers. Actually, I guess we'll put it towards Yoshi's Island. That's coming right up. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you again later today. So another thing about this run is that it uses the max speed rules, which means I have to set the acceleration max speed setting all the way to the right. That means you can't use the snaking technique, which is extremely powerful and it hurts your hands. Like you have to go like this, alternate between left, right, and shoulder buttons. It's pretty draining. So the gimmick of this chapter is that you have to kill Michael Chain. However, he is rubber banding ahead of you until you get rid of all of his little henchmen. He will also come back at 5,000 meters left, so that's the goal here. We're not going to bother killing them all. I'm going to kill some of them because they give me energy when I kill them, which means I can keep boosting and keep advancing in the pack. I do have to be very careful, because if I hit a wall when I'm at 0 energy, I'll just instantly blow up. Thankfully, when you're spin attacking, you will not take damage unless the thing you hit is also in an attacking state. On normal difficulty, that's not much of a thing. On higher difficulties, they tend to spin attack right as you try to attack them. It bounces you into the walls, and usually you'll end up dying. So we are right on his tail. Unfortunately, he's going to keep boosting until we get to 5,000 meters left. So at this point, we just drive in a straight line. Well, not really a straight line, but we follow the roads as best as we can. And then with 2 side attacks, I should be able to take him out before we get to the finish line. It is also important to finish before all of the other vehicles, because otherwise you will still end up losing. You can go for a donation right now.
Alright, we have a €10 donation from our very own Cruel again, saying 10 more for that 1-1. The rest I'll leave for you guys. Good luck, Valyssa, on F-Zero GX.
That is very unfortunate. Usually Michael Chain doesn't attack on normal difficulty, but right there he decided to. He was also like staying outside of my reach, which is very troublesome. That's a 2-minute time loss, so that's pretty devastating. I'm just gonna focus on making sure I play it a bit safer. Maybe I'll take out some more guys in the back. Get him to come back early, make sure I can finish this mission this attempt, otherwise I'll definitely go over estimates. That guy was going really fast, oh my god. Sometimes, like, with collisions you can get boosts from AI, and I guess they can also boost each other, so that can happen. So one thing about Michael Chain is that he has increased health. You'll notice that I take out these other vehicles with 1 hit. I can't do that to Michael Chain. He has like at least double the amount of energy that he normally does. On very hard difficulty, he even has like more than triple, if I remember correctly. And now there's only 4 other vehicles left, so hopefully they won't get in the way. I have plenty of energy. I'll boost for a tiny bit, just to make sure I stay ahead of the other guys. And then hopefully I'll get some clean hits on them, and then we can finally move on to chapter 5. So at this point, it's just driving. I guess we can explain another technique, which is the MTS. What that means is that you break your grip, you anchor your machine to the side, and then you strafe forward. And with the power of your strafe, you're gonna get a lot of speed. That was scary. So right there at the end, I did a bit of an MTS. That was terrifying, by the way. But yeah, MTSing is not extremely useful for Blue Falcon. It's still useful, but it's not quite as powerful as some other vehicles. Just because other vehicles have a much better strafe stats, among some other things. So this is the infamous Chapter 5. We have to escape from the exploding power plants within 50 seconds. On hard difficulty, you have 45 seconds. On very hard, you have 40. You also get less energy from capsules, depending on the difficulties, but thankfully this is normal difficulty, so we can just skip a few capsules and still be boosting the entire way. And I guess it's about time I would explain MT. So in between boosts, you'll see me turn off the engine for a moment, and that is because when you have the engine off, your speed decreases in a linear fashion, as opposed to trying to push you back to your normal top speed. So if you're going at, say, 2,000 kilometers per hour, you're going to lose a lot of speed because it wants to push you to your normal top speed, which would be, for Blue Falcon, like 1,024-ish. And there's a short cooldown between boosts that you can't boost again. So at that point, it's better to let go of the accelerator to lose less speed in that little cooldown timer. Also in Chapter 2, you will have seen it a lot. Like, I just let go of the accelerator in between shift boosts, and that is for that reason. So I got a cutscene skip there. There's like one frame where it will completely skip loading the cutscene at all. Or at least it will skip showing it at all and then like going on to the next screen. So that's a little time saver. This chapter, there's not a whole lot to it. Basically, there's a bomb on our vehicle, and we have to stay above a certain speed to survive. What speed this is also depends on the difficulty. So here, even if I tap a wall, like that's not too bad if a wall hits, I'll still be okay. You'll see on the left side of the screen, I have to stay above 700 kilometers per hour. There's not a lot of obstacles that slow you down. There's these cars, and those cars get out of your way. There's also different types of cars that don't move out of your way. Those are like the biggest issue. The others are predictable. They'll always try to go toward the nearest wall. There's a cute little MTS that you can do. I don't MTS all the turns because when you exit an MTS, you generally lose quite some speed. So you want to already be going at a pretty decent speed, and then start an MTS. It'll be more powerful, and it'll just be more worth it. And you won't be at like 900 kilometers per hour while exiting it. One other thing I tried to do is hit the boost plates at the sides. I just looked over. I should not look away from the road. But yeah, I tried to hit boost plates on the side, because that gives you a tiny little extra boost. For another vehicle, it's about 10% speed increase, but it depends on the boost timer, like the duration of a boost, and Blue Falcon's boost is not very long. So it's a very minimal time gain. Yeah, go for it. I just lost
Alright, so with the earlier donations, Yoshi's Island is now only 13 euros away from the incentive being met. And remember, that has to be done before the very start of the run. So if you want to make it happen, Yoshi's Island won 100%, then be sure to get your donations in quickly.
Can I get my game audio back now? That would be very much appreciated. I've still got nothing. So right here there's some dirt. I'm gonna boost through it to make sure I don't drop below the speed. I still don't have game audio. There's a little turn here that I have to quick turn through. If I hit a wall, that would be pretty devastating. I hope you guys still have game audio, but I don't. And there's a weird little turn coming up. The first time it can really mess you up. But once you know it's coming, it's really not too bad. It's this one. It's like blind turn, but then it goes to the right, and that's it. I'm not hearing anything. I guess it's the headphones that are empty. Oops, I didn't go to the next chapter. Okay, so chapter 7, also very infamous for its difficulty. Can you guys actually still hear my commentary, even though I'm not getting audio? Because I guess if the headphones are empty, then my commentary is like dead. Okay, it's cool. That's good. So yeah, I'm gonna do the rest of this run without audio, I suppose. That's fine. Usually I do use my audio as a cue for boost emptying. Like there's a certain rhythm to it. Anyway, chapter 7. So there's Black Bull. He is rude. So basically, in this chapter, Black Bull and Bloodhawk have boosted stats. Black Bull more so than Bloodhawk, but they can both be pretty obnoxious in the end. Normally, Bloodhawk is like a really low tier machine, but here it actually manages to stay in second place a lot of the time. So we're going to be doing a nice little trick here that is called a Mind Boost, and you can also get a Shift Boost from it because it launches you into the air. Unfortunately, I didn't. I just lost a lot of energy, so that was a bit of a waste. So that means no boosting on this lap. It's fine though. It's normal difficulty. I can handle beating Black Bull regardless. Okay, there we go. Whip. So you'll hear the beeping, that means I'm low on energy. I have to be careful. This lava doesn't deal a lot of damage, but if you're low, you definitely want to steer clear. So there's a nice MTS you can do. Like, because of the way the turn works, you can... Like, it just works perfectly with the turning you do when you're MTSing. So I'm gonna save one boost here, use another one. I'm gonna be low here, which means I have to be careful not to drive over the lava too much. I knew I had like a tiny bit left, so that's good for safety, because getting killed by the lava is a bit of a problem. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start chapter 8, and then we'll get to another donation. You guys are on fire right now. Thank you very much. So chapter 8 is a one-on-one race with Deathborn. There's a lot of mines on the track. You're going to be seeing a lot more mine boosting. Hopefully a shift boost as well that I can show off, that you get by just driving over a hill at just the right speed, at just the right place. And other than that, oh yeah, Deathborn can't die. I mean, he can die, but he'll respawn, even though I don't, which is kind of unfair. Deathborn can also do side attacks and kill you, but he won't do that on normal difficulty. He can spin attack though, so whenever I try to pass him, I need to be a little bit careful. And I guess we have time for a donation right now.
Okay, we have 13 euros from Blue Hamlet saying good luck with Yoshi's Island DS to my boy RDV. And with that, we have met the donation incentive, so we will be doing Stage 1-1 100%. Thank you all very, very much for donating.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to be using a lot of these mines. One interesting thing about mines is that even after they blow up, they leave behind a little lava spot. And normally that's not too big of an issue, but if you drive over it when you have no energy left, that's going to kill you. So I never want to be completely out of energy on this track. Thankfully, he did not spin attack there. That could have really ruined my day. Really, the biggest threat here is bouncing over the rails, because that's an insta-kill if you land outside of the track. Yeah, that's an unfortunate wall hit, but that's okay. Another trick you can do here is called an MTS into quick turn, and it's about what you would expect. You start an MTS, and then because you're already facing to the side, if you start a quick turn, you'll turn very sharply. It's extremely useful for tight turns at high speeds. Yeah, Yikes. Okay, that was a really bad hit. When you're mine boosting, you want to hit the mine like right in the middle. If you hit it on the side, it'll just bounce you to the side, and you won't get any speed from it. So we're gonna play it a bit careful here. Make sure I have enough energy. I actually missed a lot of that refill. That's unfortunate. Okay, never mind playing safe, I guess. We're fine though. Barely. And then that's also a trick you can do. It's an MTS, but it's also like your rail sliding. So you use the wall to make sure you keep your angle. You can keep strafing forward. It does peak at a certain speed, and then you'll just start dropping your speed very quickly. So it's usually only used at the end of a track. In story mode, it's not used that much at all, just because most tracks don't really lend themselves to it. And also, as soon as your machine blows up, like you can't finish the track in story mode, as opposed to time attack mode, where if your machine explodes, you can keep like bouncing across the finish line and it'll still count. So that's a pretty common technique in time attack mode, is starting a rail slide and then exploding and launching yourself over the finish, but that does not work here. So we have some time left, so I'm gonna go for some shift boosts, because it's fun. This track does not have any kind of barrier to push you back up if you drop too low on a shift boost, so if you mess up here, you're dead. Which means I'm gonna play this a lot safer than I did Chapter 2. As you can see, individual shift boosts don't really do much. Like, they boost me up to 1200, and then I lose that speed pretty quickly. But in Chapter 2, like, if you can really stack those shift boosts, you can stack your speed very high. Because the thing is, the more speed you have, the more speed you get from a shift boost. So it's like a chain reaction, and when it works, it's just amazing. I'm not gonna go for any shift boosts here. I don't really feel like losing a minute. MTSing though, perfectly fine. Looks scarier than it is. Like, the turns just line up perfectly for MTS. So this part is unfortunately kind of dull as a result. There's not a lot of refill on this track, so I have to manage my boost a bit better. Oh yeah, there's also the MTS into the side attack dive that I do here, which is pretty cute. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't explain. The gimmick of this track is that you have to beat the creators of this game, which it's a staff ghost. So the developers set a time, you have to beat it. You can actually beat this one without boosting at all, because it's normal difficulty. On very hard, it's a bit more challenging. It gets some people issues, but once you learn all the tech, it's not an issue at all. Like, even without shift boosting, you're perfectly fine being the staff ghost, just with good boosting, maybe a side attack dive, the hill. Yeah, the rival's all the way back there. We are perfectly fine. So time will be coming up as soon as I've crossed the finish line. So get ready on that. Alright, so time coming up now. 210's not bad, eh? Stayed underestimate despite that death on Chapter 4, which I'm very happy about, because that was a big time loss. But yeah, thank you all for watching. It's always really fun playing this game, even if it is like very challenging, kind of nerve-wracking. So yeah, thank you all.
Thank you very much, Valyssa, for that super speedy run of a 0GX. That was indeed nerve-wracking.